This obstacle cannot define me. It's not going to cripple me. It's not going to be responsible for me stepping away for the game that I love. I'm going to step away on my own terms. And that's when the decision was made that, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Have you ever wondered what mindset you need to be a champion, to be the best within your industry, the uncommon among the uncommon? Well, in this book for you, we're gonna find that out, diving into the Mamba Mentality by Kobe Bryant, coming up. So who is Kobe Bryant? He was a 20-year NBA superstar, winning 5 championships during that time, 2 playoff MVPs, 1 league MVP, 2-time gold medalist at the Olympics. That's just the tip of the iceberg of everything that he won during his NBA career. After that, he ended up winning an Academy Award for a short film that he did and a New York Times bestselling author for his Wisnar series books. So if you want to know how to succeed and be a champion in every level, this man has the mindset to teach you. That's why in this book, the Mamba Mentality, it really is great to see what is the mindset and how he approaches his craft and how we could learn from it. Now, when it comes to this book, it was an amazing book with a lot of pictures in it, but the content inside of it wasn't very in-depth in itself. There was a bit of words here and there, but it's mostly pictures. So what I want to do for this video is I want to talk about the 5 pillars of having a Mamba mentality. And these are things that Kobe Bryant has taught and spoken about in several interviews. So I'm going to talk about the 5 pillars of the Mamba mentality, and the concept of a Mamba mentality said by Kobe Bryant himself is essentially working to be better every single day from the previous day. So the Mamba mentality is a constant pursuit to get better. So let's dive into the 5 pillars of the Mamba mentality. The first pillar of the Mamba mentality is be passionate. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried something that demanded a certain amount of effort. If you are not passionate about that particular thing, you're just not going to succeed. So imagine you want to start a company, but you're so passionate about it. Or imagine you want to start a sport that you like, but you don't necessarily love. There's going to be so many opportunities for you to quit during that process because there's difficulty that's going to be aroused. And if you're not passionate about it, you're probably going to quit. That's why you have to have high levels of passion about the thing that you're doing, because it's that passion that's going to help you go over that difficulty. It's going to help you push towards what you need to push and become the great player, person, investor, entrepreneur that you are going to become within that industry. Now, Kobe Bryant explains when it comes to the game of basketball, he was so passionate about it. That's why he was uncommon among the uncommon. So among the best basketball players in the world, he was even the best within them. So he was the uncommon. And the way that he approached the game and he loved the game, he saw it as a mindfulness exercise in itself. He's like, the game was there when I needed a friend. The game was there when I needed to vent. The game was there when I needed to just relax. And that's the way he looks at it. He doesn't look at it as anything other than something he just gave his whole life towards. So if you do not have a high level of passion about the thing that you're doing or trying to develop, you're just not going to succeed at a high level. So you have to have high level of passion in the endeavor that you're working on. The second pillar of the Mamba mentality is be obsessed. Now, this is extremely important. If you want to be the uncommon among the uncommon, you want to be the champion within your industry, you have to be obsessed about that particular endeavor of what you're doing. Now, this goes hand in hand with the previous one, which is passionate, right? If you're not passionate about something, you're not going to be obsessed about it. Now, one way that Kobe Bryant explains it is during an interview, he was asked, why do you wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning? And he explains that, listen, if your goal is to be the best basketball player in the world, you have to do 2 things. You have to continually train and rest. He's like, if you do those 2 things at high levels, you're going to become one of the greatest basketball players ever. So he's like, let's take an average. He explains the average NBA player wakes up at 10 a.m. So if he wakes up at 10, then goes to do a training session from 12 to 2, then goes and recovers from 2 to 6, then goes for another training session from 6 to 8, then he recovers for the rest of the day and restarts. So that's 2 sessions. Now, by Kobe Bryant waking up at 3 a.m., what happens? He wakes up at 3, goes trains his first one from 4 to 6, then goes recover from 6 to 9 a.m., then goes for another training session from 9 to 11 a.m., then recovers from 11 to 2, goes to another training session from 2 to 4 p.m., goes back and recover from 4 to 7, then goes back for his final training from 7 to 9 p.m. and then recovers for the rest of the day. That's 4 sessions compared to the average of 2. He's like, if I do that consistently over time, It doesn't matter what my peers do in the off season. He's like, over the years, the compound effect of what I have done, the work that I've put in, it's going to be too far ahead. So that's the obsessiveness that you need to have if you really want to succeed. You have to be smart and understand what you need to do to be the best at your industry, and then try to figure it out within your schedule. If you guys see there's some value within this video so far, don't hesitate at all to give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification to find out when our weekly videos come out. Furthermore, if you want to see even more what it takes to be a champion and go into that mindset, another book review that I've done you guys could like is Michael Jordan, The Life by Roland Linsby. I'll link it up right now. You guys could click and check that out as well. The third pillar of the Mamba mentality is being relentless. Now, being relentless is being unyielding. It's going after it. It's being happy when a challenge arises in front of you because you're able to see where you stack up against that challenge, right? And as well, it's understanding that whatever challenge is in front of you, maybe you're not good at it now, it's perfectly okay, but you're excited to keep on going towards it and seeing how you're gonna stack up to that challenge second time it arises or when it comes back again. That's that relentless mindset, is understanding that it's a process. It really doesn't matter where you are right now. It's really the fact that whatever happens, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna fall down, but get back up. So it's that relentless mindset that you need to succeed at high levels. The fourth pillar of the Mamba mentality is being resilient. Now, there's definitely a distinction to be made between relentless and resilient. Relentless is somebody that just never quits, always goes forward. Resilient is somebody that's going forward throughout a difficult moment. So essentially, it's withstanding or recovering from a difficult condition. Now, one great example that Kobe Bryant gives over here, he talks about his Achilles injury. And he says it himself. The Achilles injury was like the kiss of death for athletes. A lot of people that got that afterwards were not the same player or just completely retired. And once that happened, he went through this emotional roller coaster. The first night he was extremely angry, he was pissed, he was not happy about it. He's like, why did this happen to me? And then instantly he did that mind shift. He's like, all right, let me stop thinking like that. He's like, what can I control? Is this something that's gonna stop my career, or I wanna stop my career when I decide? He's like, no, I wanna stop it when I decide, when I'm ready. So he's like, okay, what can I control? What is next? He's like, next is, let's go get the surgery. After surgery, it's the recovery period. Okay, after that, it's what do I need to do to get back in shape, start dribbling, doing this, doing that, and then finally playing basketball with my team. So he broke down this challenging period in manageable steps. He didn't look at it as a whole like, oh my God, it's gonna take 8 months or a year for me to come back from this injury. He broke it down in manageable steps. So that's what being resilient is, taking a difficult moment, recovering from it, and going through it. The fifth pillar of the Mamba mentality is be fearless. Now, Kobe Bryant says in an interview, the greatest fear you will face is yourself. Now, this is so interesting because the concept of fear is really created within your own ideology or your own perception of what fear is. Something that is scary for you may not be scary for your neighbor and vice versa. So fear is really created in itself. Now be careful here. I'm not talking about fear and danger because there's definitely a distinction with that as well. We're talking about self-inflicted fear. So being fearless is understanding that you have a goal, you have a passion, and be fearless enough to mention what that goal is and go towards it, no matter what the situation is. You're putting yourself out there. If you succeed, that's amazing, but if you fail, that's okay as well. That's what being fearless is taking that goal, taking that ambition, telling the world that you're gonna do it, and working towards it. So be fearless is the big part of the Mamba mentality in itself. Kobe Bryant mentions that they created these 5 pillars, but the reality of the matter is it's all one, and that's because it all comes from within. He says that whatever you're feeling within that period of the moment or the stage that you're feeling within your life, all you have to do, the key is to be aware of what you're feeling and to go through that particular thing. So if you're feeling a bit more relentless or passionate or obsessed, that's perfectly okay, as long as you understand what you're going through that process in itself. So if you guys are a Kobe Bryant fan, or if you're a basketball player that wants to improve and really figure out what do I need to do to go to the next level, or you're just somebody that wants to understand what it takes to have that peak performance mindset and really become a champion in every level, this book is definitely for you. The Amazon link will be in the description below. You guys go ahead and click it and you guys could go get that book. Furthermore, I just wanted to say I am such a fan of Kobe Bryant, and it was extremely sad to see him go, so rest in peace to him and anybody that was in that unfortunate crash. So the question of the day is, What has Kobe Bryant taught you? So what is the greatest things that you have learned from Kobe Bryant? Comment that down below. Would love to see what the community is going to say on that end. Furthermore, there's some videos over here that could interest you. Over here you have my book review series. Over here you have my peak performance mindset series. Over here you have my entrepreneurship series, and you have my profile picture. You guys can click subscribe and join the family. I hope you guys have a blessed and grateful day.